guys, my name is Gabby and today I'm going to take us through a yoga workout that is just going to help strengthen, lengthen. I really want us to kind of feel nice and almost cleansed, rinsed out. So we're just going to see where this goes, and thank you for joining me. Let's get started at the top of our mat. We're just going to come over here to standing. And we're going to start with a nice big stretch overhead and a big breath. Bringing our palms to the center. Let's take a few big inhales here. And with that, some big exhales. Let's reach overhead again. Bringing palms to center. Our toes are nice and stabilized on the mat. I've brought my feet together. If you feel a bit more stabilized, kind of bringing them out, you can do that as well. Let's give a nice big overhead again. Just waking up the body. This time let's go ahead and lift our toes on both sides. Now let's lower our toes on our right foot, keeping the left foot toes elevated. Let's lower the toes on the left foot. Let's lift the toes on the right foot. Lift the toes on the left foot. And this time let's lower them both at the same time. Okay, let's bring our palms down here. And one thing I think could be really fun to start with is just to really loosen up our bodies. So what we're going to do, I've seen this in Yoga with Adriene before, one of my all-time faves, where we're just going to kind of swing our arms back and forth, shifting. I can actually come and face you guys. Doing this, we're just swinging it back and forth. Let yourself feel free. Smile to yourself a bit. Close your eyes. Just feel how this feels in your body to you this morning, this afternoon, whenever you may be doing it. Let's keep our feet nice and planted. And really kind of twist from one side to the other. Doing an awesome job. Let's slow it down now. Slow it down a bit. Until we come to center. I'm going to come back to the top of my mat. Here I'm going to reach towards the sky, bending my legs, coming all the way up. And this time I want to kind of flat back. All the way up to this nice flat back position. A deep breath here. And we're just going to totally lower. Here what we're going to do is very similar to what we were doing before, but we're just going to grab onto our elbows each side. And we're going to rock back and forth. You should really feel this in your lower back. I love it. I feel like it's such a nice release. Let everything hang down. Just totally relaxed. Yes, this feels awesome. My hair just whipped. Oh, I'm sorry, plant. Oh my gosh, my hair is whipping the plant. I'm going to try and be gentler with the plant. So we're just kind of rocking here. Let's do 2 deep breaths here. And let's lower our hands. Okay, let's go ahead and bring ourselves up to a nice half flat back. Let's release completely. And let's roll ourselves up to standing. Bring our hands up overhead. Stretch up as high up towards the ceiling as you can. And we're going to bring to center. Excellent. I hope that you're already starting to feel really good. I know that I am. Okay, let's lift back up again. Lower to center. Let's go to a nice flat back position. As best as you can. Lengthening through the tailbone. And now let's completely release. Ooh, I love that release. You can just kind of wiggle your lower back here, bending one knee and then the other. This time, let's go ahead and plant our right hand into the mat. And as if you're kind of pulling a nice bow and arrow, gonna lift that left palm towards the ceiling. A nice rotation here. Wow, I'm really feeling the stretch in my legs too. I'm always reminded of how kind of inflexible my legs are when I'm doing yoga. And it's part of why I do it. It's so good. Let's do 2 deep breaths here. And then lower. Coming back to center, we're going to put our left palm into the center. And imagine a nice bow and arrow lifting up towards the ceiling. We're going to rotate here, really keeping your legs nice and bent. And we're going to open up. Oh, that should feel really good in a lot of different places. Let's take a few deep breaths here. And let's bring it back to center. Okay, let's come all the way up to standing again. Reach your hands up and overhead and then bring your palms to the center. Okay, this time we're going to go ahead and do a nice flat back again. Feel the stretch, especially along your hamstrings. The focus should be keeping on your back flat as much as possible, and then we're just gonna release, bend your knees. Again, this should feel really good. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and plant our palms, and let's just bring our left leg back. And we're gonna go ahead and come into this nice kind of low lunge position. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just lift up, and we're gonna lift our arms up towards the ceiling. Deep breath here. We're gonna go ahead and exhale and open. Ooh. Doing some sort of a nice variation of a warrior pose. Let's bring this palm actually forward again. And now I'm just gonna open up the other one. You could wiggle and wobble, but let's open here. Feel that nice kind of stretch, that nice twist. Gonna bring this palm again here just in front of us. Do the same thing. Open. If you'd like, you can have your kind of foot pointed there or flexed, whatever feels more stabilizing. To center. Open. To center. And open. Just do a couple more here. Excellent. Let's go ahead and bring our palms down and then lift all the way up. You can kind of go overhead and give yourself a nice little arch here. Really opening up in your chest. And let's bring our palms all the way down. Excellent. So from here, you're gonna bring the right knee back, and I'd like us to just go into a nice cat-cow before we switch and do it on the other side. So let's go ahead and take a nice inhale here. And exhale. into our scaredy cat pose. Take some time to just kind of wiggle if that feels good to you. Feels good to me. And now we're going to go ahead and inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale again. Let's go ahead and bring our back into a nice neutral position in the center. A few deep breaths here, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to lift our left foot up and keep our right leg back this time. You can kind of move your knee, adjust it, bring it a little bit further back to go into a nice deeper low lunge position. And here, this time I'm actually going to go ahead and stabilize by doing this. We're just going to come all the way up for a few deep breaths here. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and open ourselves up like so. Nice deep breath here as well. And then we're going to bring both of our hands forward. I'm going to open up on the other side. Center. And open. Oh, you should feel a really nice twist in your center here. I definitely do, and I'm feeling that stretch on that lower leg as well. Come back to center and twist. Ooh, I'm feeling this side is actually harder for me to open than on the other side. Just really interesting. We'll open again. It's very usual for you to have one side that is more flexible than the other. We'll just do a couple more here. Last one on each side. Open. And let's go ahead and lower our hands. And actually, I forgot to do an overhead, so let's actually come back up slowly. Lift our hands overhead. Kind of come back into a lower arch. You can sink deeper in here. Hands overhead. Let's do a few deep breaths here. And now we can lower. Very good. Bring that knee back. And let's go ahead and kind of wiggle it out. Let's do kind of a nice little figure eight motion with the lower back here. Breathing throughout. Okay. Let's go the other direction now. Really kind of just move with the internal rhythm that you're feeling. Letting your breath guide you. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys heard me crack there, but I felt it and I heard it for sure. Okay, let's bring ourselves back to center here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come onto our back. Nice and slowly. And I would love for us to do a happy baby pose. So we're going to come all the way down onto the mat here. Lifting our legs up. And depending on your flexibility or how you're feeling, you can either grab onto your toes or you can grab onto the outside kind of edges of your feet, which is where I like to hold. Trying to keep your lower back flat on the ground. And we're just gonna hang out here for a second. I love to do a kind of nice little rotating motion back and forth. This is not really rotating, it's more rocking. Just a nice motion rocking back and forth, side to side here. Kind of feel the corners of your mouth maybe curling up towards the sky. Feel that internal happiness, that internal joy. As if you were a babe on the floor, just kind of playing and hanging around. Let's have some really nice deep breaths here. We're rocking and rolling. And now we're gonna go ahead and just bring our legs onto the mat. And actually, might be a little bit sneaky here. Go ahead and lower your legs onto the mat in this position, having your feet just kind of touching each other like this. Nice and open. And here I would just like for us to go ahead and kind of reach back, all the way back. And let's go ahead and lift up here and hold it just for a tiny bit of ab work at the end. Now you're going to lift your right arm up overhead, kind of behind you, and then the left over behind you. Going behind is a bit too crazy, just bring it towards your head. That's perfectly fine too. And that feels actually a little bit more stable. Breathing throughout here, really kind of making sure you're up off of your shoulders. Okay, let's do 3 more on each side. Last one. And slowly lower. Amazing. Okay, now let's just come into a nice Shavasana. Having difficulty pronouncing, but Shavasana position. Release completely. Lower onto the mat. Into our corpse pose. Kind of have your legs extended. Your arms extended by your side. You can have your palms facing up towards the ceiling or down, or kind of on top of you, whatever feels best to you today. And I want us to take about 5 or 6 deep breaths here. Really letting yourself relax, your body just absorbing the nutrients of this practice. And when you're ready in your own time, you can go ahead and start by just wiggling your toes. Feel the motion in the right toes, then feel it in the left. Start wiggling our fingers now. Feel that motion in the right fingers and in the left fingers. And now slowly you can just start opening up your eyes. And again, in your own time, just come back to seated at the center of the mat with me. Let's go ahead and reach overhead. palms to center. And together, let's go ahead and say Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I think that was one of my most enjoyable practices that I've done in a long time, so I hope that you enjoyed it too. If you did enjoy it and you're looking for another workout, you can go ahead and click on a video here, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you again for joining me. Bye.